Hey guys, Braided Zero here, bringing you a Ghost Recon Breakpoint video today on the good, the bad, and the ugly of this new game. Currently, it is in closed beta. I've had quite a few days to be able to play it, run around, kill some guys, and experience exactly what the leveling and progression system has to do. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on exactly what, based on the closed beta, appears is the good aspects of the game, the bad aspects of the game, and the not so great, the ugly aspects of it. So let's jump right in. Point number one for the good aspects of the game is that there is a very, very large map. It is very open world. You are not restricted to certain areas based on your level. If you are a gear score level 2, whatever, you can run to the highest level immediately. You will get destroyed, but you can do it. The other aspect is I really enjoyed the looter shooter aspect. There is a clear progression system. As you kill enemies, you gain level. As you gain level and kill enemies and they drop loot, your loot will continue to go up in gear score. And naturally, as you continue to gain gear score, that will go up as well. There probably is a cap based on the highest a gear score can be based on your level, but currently I haven't hit that because my experience is increasing at quite a exponential rate. That might be that they have increased the experience gain during the beta. That may change in the full release, but we'll see. The last part of the good would be that even though you are a lower gear score, and in the beginning I was around like a gear score 12, maybe a level 8 gear score 12 or something like that, still in the beginning, I entered into a gear score 40 area and was able to do a very good amount of damage to the enemies. I don't know exactly what the increase in gear score means as far as it goes for difficulty, but even on the absolute highest difficulty, I was still able to kill gear score 40 and higher enemies with a single sniper headshot. So it doesn't appear like they're restricting you as much based on that gear score, which is good, but there probably will be a little bit more of a restriction in the full release. Now for the bad. Injuries do not seem to be as punishing as the initial trailer videos made it appear. Maybe as we progress through the game and enter into the full release, injuries might be a little bit worse. It is very punishing when you're in a gunfight that you cannot take that many shots, especially if you're under gear score from an enemy before you die. But when you are injured, it doesn't really hamper your mobility as much as I would expect. And a little bit of a bandage or some kind of a stem shot and you're back up to running and you're back up to full health. It doesn't appear to be as punishing. Again, hopefully this will change in the full release, but I'm not too sure. Additionally, the AI, as is hampered on a lot of video games, the AI does not seem to be as intelligent as I would really like. You can walk pretty close to enemies and they may have a little question mark that pops up that maybe they heard something, but they go back to an inactive mode pretty quick. And even when they spot you, you have a good few moments before they actually are triggered. It doesn't seem like their system should be as forgiving considering the ramifications that this game brings. You are supposed to be hunted in this game and it doesn't seem that way. Even when you're spotted, if you leave the area, they go back to normal. No hunts are going out after you. Again, maybe later in the game we may experience that. Maybe the beta is restricting it to a certain extent, but currently it doesn't appear like you're as hunted as they would like it to seem in the initial trailers. Now for the ugly, we're going to move a little bit onto that last topic for the bad and expound a little bit more. Stealth in this game is not really good. It's not as important. I wouldn't say that it's not necessarily a good. The stealth is kind of cool. There are perks that increase your stealth, and maybe in the later missions it may be more important, but me just running around in free roam on the absolute highest difficulty, I was able to run pretty close to enemies and they weren't even noticing me. I was running right out in the open. Nobody was spotting me. You can see clear indicators on your map of where enemy grouping is. And as long as you run between them, even not even that close to them. You can run still pretty close to them. They won't even notice you. Additionally, when you're in a mission area and you may kill somebody, if you choose to leave their dead body, there seems to be no ramifications. People can run across these dead bodies. They'll notice it. They'll have an indicator. They'll even comment over the radio to everybody. And it seems like everybody is on maybe a higher, what would you call that? DEFCON increased in some capacity, but it's still really easy. They don't even start to try and search for you necessarily. As long as you remain still and still take out people in a stealth-like manner, you can move through the mission. Until somebody spots you, it doesn't become big. And even when they spot you, they're going to call it in on the radio. And if you kill the guy calling it in on a radio, you're able to stop the attack pretty quick. It just doesn't seem like there's as much of a negative punishment for being caught as you would expect in a game that was marketed as you are being hunted the entire game. And that would honestly be it. Aside from these points, and even considering the good, the bad, and the ugly, this game is very good. I was very pleased with the open world aspect. I enjoyed running around, moving through the map, shooting and killing certain enemies, moving up to certain groups. Even on the highest difficulty, it wasn't terribly difficult until I engaged on enemies where I was overwhelmed and there was more coming at me. And even then I was somewhat able to handle my own, unless they had a much higher gear score than mine. There are a lot of what seems to be higher difficulty enemies like tanks and armored people that can pose a little bit of a problem, but they have weak points and you can kill them pretty easily as long as you know. Having said all of that, I still really enjoyed the game, and I'm hoping that when the full release comes out, maybe some of these bad and ugly aspects can be taken away and I can maybe move a little bit more into the good aspect. But when it comes to a looter shooter and a survival based shooter game, really solid pickup. So far, I do recommend it for full release. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. If you like the content, come talk to me on Twitch at Braided0 Live. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from about 9 p.m. CST to midnight. You can also follow me on Twitter at Braided0. Thanks for checking out the channel. Smash that subscribe, like button, comment, all that kind of crap. Thanks.